I am the Dadcrafter, and this is the Chest Cavity Mod Challenge. This is a remix of episode number 6, bringing you the live stream in condensed format. And in this episode, we set out to find a village. But that is far from all that we did in this episode. First, we performed some questionable mob
See if
surgery.
I can ink like a squid. Let's see, do they have an ink sac? We're going to take some muscle. Heart, fish muscle. There is no ink sac.
And we did some accidental villager surgery.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, just so you know, his chest cavity looks just like mine. I was trying to trade with him.
And it was during this stream that we officially hit the 1,000 subscriber mark.
You are not kidding me, RJ. I see it for myself. We have officially hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed, who has watched, who has tuned in any capacity. The Dadcrafter officially has 1,000 subscribers.
We set some things on fire.
So I just lit that zombie on fire by shooting a fireball at him. We're going to do the same thing to this cow to get some cooked beef.
We turned ourselves into the weakest Spider-Man ever.
When I do that, I'm popping out a string every time that I hit that button now. So I'm the world's weakest Spider-Man. There's no hanging from webs. There's no saving Mary Jane. But I can poop out string at will.
And we were even joined by the mod developer himself and got some additional tips on things to try in this awesome challenge.
Oh, you're the developer? That's awesome. Well, welcome to the stream, and thank you for making this game, because it's pretty, or this mod, I should say, because it's pretty neat.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode number 6 of the Chest Cavity Challenge.
On our last episode, we found ourselves a whole bunch of fun stuff. We took some pieces and parts out of the blaze and gave ourselves the fire-breathing dragon capability. That was pretty fun. We also took apart an Enderman and made some Enderman sausage. Now, I don't think we tried putting any of the Enderman parts inside of us, so we might have to do a little bit of that today. Looking at my screen right now, I've got a whole bunch of Enderman pieces. If you remember, we made some raw alien sausage. Now that came from the Enderman muscle. We also made some raw human sausage, and that came to us thanks to the witch muscle. Started today. We've got a little bit of a goal in front of us, which is I'd like to get myself to a village. I would like to get some villagers to bring back home here, because there's some farms that I'd like to build, like an iron farm, that would require a village, rather a villager, in order to do that. So
we'll collect up all the supplies that we need here to be ready to make our journey off into the great unknown in search of a village.
I think I've got enough food to make this adventure successful. If not, we'll grab some more along the way. And we will get after it here. So we're looking for a village. So if you spot one, go ahead and shout it out there in chat, because sometimes you guys see these things faster than I do. Definitely got ourselves a cool looking mountain up here on the right. Pretty sweet little piece of real estate. I see some iron up there. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to go for that. Now the question is, I didn't bring myself any way to get up to it.
So we'll take a quick detour here and mine for some iron and some coal since we're up there. And it's during this detour that one of my watchers lets me know we are quickly approaching the 1,000 subscriber mark.
It's a cool milestone that I'm really excited about and hopeful that I will hit. And if I can hit it on this stream, that would be great. If you want to keep an eye on that and let me know, because I don't think I see a subscriber count. I don't have enough screens to have everything going, but if you happen to notice that I get that 1,000, you let me know, and we'll do a little celebration. Ooh, is that a ruined portal? It is a ruined portal. have to pop down there. These are always tough because I don't know where the chest is. Hopefully we can manage this without a drown showing up, because that's what you don't want when you're down here. Get my iron pickaxe out. Get this gold block. Would definitely gladly take that. There's the chest. Just gonna have to step off of this to get to it. Oh man, pretty weak chest. Come on, we're on a... Oh boy. Okay. Like I'm on a thing, I shouldn't be drowning. Alright. Well, that cost us a little bit of health. Not too bad. Oh, and you know what? While I'm here, somebody in my comments had asked me to try to see if I could get an ink sac or something from a squid to be able to... That's my chest. Why twice on me when I was touching the squid? To see if I can ink like a squid. Let's see, do they have an ink sac? We're going to take some mussel. Heart, fish mussel. There is no ink sac. So that's probably not going to work. Let's see, we already need to make some space in our inventory, of course. That didn't take long. Let's see what you get from... Oh, you think you need a crafting table. Shoot. Alright, we're going to have to set up shop on land here for a second. Lay out our crafting table. And let's see if we can't craft up some fish steaks. Does that work? What do you get here? Raw butchered meat. So it's no different. Huh, interesting. I thought for sure the fish muscle would give us something different. Oh no. Oh, that was close. That was really close. I just heard that creeper at the last second. Oh my. That was really, really close. Well, if my armor was in bad shape before, it's pretty much non-existent now. Whew, that was a close call. Okay, well, I was staring at my crafting table here.
After our close call with the creeper, we're back on our way to see what we'll find next.
Yeah, looting on the cleaver would probably be the way to go. I forgot my cleaver, so I kind of struck it out on that one for one, and then for two, I don't yet have a enchanting table to do that with. Oh boy, this is not going to go well. That shipwreck is kind of deep. I see a drown off to the side there. I'm going to need to take some action here if I want to actually get the chest out of here. We're going to have to take care of this guy, so we don't get attacked right when we're running out of air. Have to, I think, come in from the other side. I had a pair of boots with O negative. I don't know if I still do. Okay, well that was a good chest. Speaking of getting some iron, do I still have those boots on? No, I took them off, but I have a pair of boots that had the O negative enchantment, so that's good to know. Looks like another shipwreck over here. Also looks like I've made my way back. When you open mobs, it's supposedly a fixed amount of organs, right? Yeah, that's a good point. So like the number of organs in each mob, Cody, is fixed. But I wonder, like when you kill a mob, they'll drop you compatible organs. And we're wondering, like the cleaver is supposed to help you find more, and we're wondering if looting would even push that up higher. I don't know. It's hard to say. we're going to take this rotten flesh because we've got our rotten stomach with us, and in a pinch we could throw that in and survive on rotten flesh. Not the ideal thing to eat, but when you can eat it without getting poisoned by it, it's certainly more ideal. So we don't want to go into the ice because there's not likely to be anything there for us. We're looking for a village. That's a huge portal. That's a cool one too. Let's see. Huge portal, but it's got some obsidian. Golden apple. We'll definitely take that. Don't really have a need for a whole bunch of flint or a fire charge. Yeah, lay it on me. RJ has a question about my long-term survival world. How do you stay motivated to keep playing? That's a really good question. The number one thing for me is I follow different YouTube videos to make things that I've never made before. So like I was just in there playing around this weekend using, oh gosh, that guy's got a trident, using a tutorial to build a redstone gate for one of my castles. I was fixing up my black castle that I've been building. Finally kind of finished the castle, but didn't have any, kind of one of the main features of a castle is the castle gate, right? Well, I didn't have a gate on my castle, so I wanted to put one in. So I used a tutorial that I found on YouTube, and I built myself a working, functional castle gate, which I thought that was pretty cool. It was a fun thing to build. Using redstone. I really struggle with redstone. Like that's something I don't just naturally know how to build with. So I always like to use tutorials, and I feel like I learn new things about redstone all the time that I didn't know about before. Oh, we got to get out of here. That drown is coming for us. So I use it as a way to kind of like learn new things that then I can bring into other challenges. Like if I wanted to build a redstone gate here, which not really much reason to, but at least I'd have an idea how to do it. Or more importantly, I have an idea of how redstone works in general from that build. Yes, you're 100% right. There were or have been times where it feels like, why am I doing this when no one's going to see it? And the solution for that, start up a YouTube channel. It's definitely motivated me to build some new things and get back in that world. I'll be honest, I had not played in that world in quite some time before I decided to do the streaming tour of the world. And once I did the streaming tour of the world, it kind of motivated me to get back in there and play a little more so that I can continue to show off the progress. So yeah, like definitely with you. Playing by yourself with no one to show it to, it feels a little pointless. So get some people to show it to, throw it out there for the world to see. There was a little bit of hesitancy on my part to share that world with the world, I guess. Yeah, that's the right way to say it. To share my world with the rest of the world, because that's where I learned how to play Minecraft. So there's some builds on there that are super rudimentary. They were just me messing around with different blocks or trying to figure out different things, and but showing them off, a lot of them got better reactions than maybe I thought they would have, or different comments. Like great example is I have that auto sorting storage room, and I had never thought about adding a filter to get rid of the items that don't stack. They've just always kind of messed up my storage room. Like no matter what I do, they come down from my mob grinder and they just clog it up. Well, somebody in my comments after I posted a video about that mentioned that there's a way to build a remover, something that would remove non-stackable items. It's a redstone setup, and once again, I jumped on YouTube. I found a YouTuber who had built that exact thing that I needed, a non-stackable item remover, and then I went ahead and built one. I added it to my storage room. So now my auto sorter will auto sort out those items so they don't clog things up anymore. Then after that, another commenter mentioned that like, hey, so you fixed up your top entry that opens and closes, but you got your main entry just kind of like exposed. Why don't you cover that up with a wishing well? And it was again like, oh, duh. I never really thought about how cool that could be. So I built a wishing well over it. And then, of course, those became 2 new videos that I posted to the channel to show people, how I built those. So For me, yes. The motivation to play in there originally was that was just how I was learning Minecraft. Is I was just learning how to play, following tutorials, doing different builds, and kind of having fun with that. But more recently, having a YouTube channel where I can show the builds off to the world has been a much bigger motivator for me. And for example, I just almost finished building out the black castle that had been basically just a foundation when I did my world tour. And I'll have to do a fresh world tour now to show off all the progress that I've made on that castle, complete with the functional redstone castle gate, because I've now added that as well. So yeah, long answer there, but really the answer is pretty simple. You know, you gotta find ways to stay motivated in those long-term worlds, because yeah, when you're just playing by yourself, it can be hard to feel like there's any point in doing it. There's another ruined portal. So I think that's the 4th ruined portal I have found to go with my 0 villages that I have found. You can't see it, but I just jumped a little bit because the sound effect on that grass breaking made me think it was a creeper exploding. And I actually have my headphones on, which I don't normally play with. So the sound was just really intense right in my ears. Where is the other guy? There he is. All right, let's see here. What can we get rid of? I don't know that I really need a bell per se, but a bell feels like a cool thing to have. Take the obsidian. Oh boy. I don't really have anything I want to get rid of. I guess I could put the rotten stomach in. That would give me some space. Now we're limited to eating rotten flesh, but we have plenty of that at the moment. All right, we'll go with that.
With our rotten stomach in place, we'll get back on this not-so-rotten journey and hope that we stumble upon a village here soon.
Hey, there's a village. Prior to the YouTube channel, probably what kept me motivated most was showing it to my kids. You know, they would always check out the latest build and suggest builds for me from videos that they had seen. So that's the other thing you can do with it, is if you have kids, you know, show it off to them, because they're the best audience. They, you know, for one, they never had much faith in my Minecraft skills, so I think they were always super impressed that I could do anything. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, just so you know, his chest cavity looks just like mine. I was trying to trade with him, but I didn't realize I was holding my chest opener. So I opened his chest by accident. Oh, shoot. We need to make some inventory space, because I would like to take a bed. Let's see. We'll trade with you. No, you got nothing. Gosh. You guys do not have anything good. What, to meet the poorest village in history? All right, so here's the question. Is how far am I from my spawn? Or not my spawn, but from my house? And is it even worth trying to get a villager back there? Well, Cody, you can show it off to your dad. You know, go the opposite route. If your dad is at all impressed by video games, which I know is hit or miss. Not all parents are super impressed by video games. But if he is, just show it to your dad, get him going. You know, get your dad started on Minecraft. That's what my kids did. They certainly never hear me say, "Why are you playing that stupid game?" Because I'm playing it most of the time too. So let's see. We were coming from 672 minus 1709. We are at 1769 minus 3663. That's a long distance to have to travel. I'm going to write that down, because I think we're going to have to make the trek there and back twice. RJ, yeah, that is an option. That is definitely an option. I don't know that I would call that the easiest option. For those of us who have kids, we'll definitely attest it's not always easy. Let's see. Didn't I grab some carrots? Yeah, I did. I'll try to get this cleric to join me in my boat here. Where you at, buddy? Come on. Chase the carrots. Come on, get in the boat. No, come on. You know you wanted to get in the boat. Come on. Come on. Get in that boat. What's he doing? Why is he afraid of the boat? Will they not get in a boat that's in water? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know if they will. All right, let's see. We're going to drop that. Grab that boat. That's got to be what it is. I don't know if they're rabbits or not, but they typically will go for food. It does kind of feel like I'm Elmer Fudd toying with Bugs Bunny, though, at the moment. Oh, come on. Come on, buddy. That's not even cool. I've never had a villager this difficult to get in a boat. I'm going to have to go for one of the other ones here in a second if this guy doesn't get in. Yeah, I was thinking the water was the issue, but it's not appearing to be the case. He just seems to not like my boat. We'll go see. There was a baby villager. Maybe he's easier to trick with my carrot.
Struggling to get these rascally rabbits, I mean villagers, into a boat, we'll keep on trying till we get one.
All right. Oh, that worked. Okay. Now we have to figure out how to get all the way back to our starting point, which was 672 minus 1709. So it's this direction.
Finally, having gotten a villager into the boat, it's time to make the journey back to our home base.
So what we need to do is we need to establish a place to use as a villager breeder. But first and foremost, I just want to get out of here, leave this villager here in the boat, and go sleep so we can get to daytime. Otherwise, we're going to have to deal with a whole bunch of these guys. And we don't want to deal with that while we're trying to deal with our villager. Okay, so I mean, that worked out way better than I expected for getting the villager. Like, it took a long time to find the village, but once we found it, like, that was pretty quick and easy. So now the challenge is I need a place to put the villager and a way to get him there. So we're going to have to kind of build a pathway. We'll use our remove the appendix trick on that guy. So we need a place to put the villager. I'm sorry. You are somehow surviving. So we'll take everything you got. Now that guy will set me on fire, which he did. So
After extinguishing myself, it's now time to carve out a little spot for my villager breeding center.
show on the road. Okay, so we need to close it off somehow so that they're not getting out of here. Go craft up a gate. Give him some room to stand. And then if we push this forward and go ahead and break this. No. No. There's your way up. You idiot. Leave it to this guy. All right. That was not successful. So we need to get him in here, and then we need to lock him so he can't get out of there. Yeah, I guess I could probably use a water bucket to boat up. This will work. Now he's got nowhere else to go. So now he should go up here. Oh, shit. Where'd he go? Over there? You idiot. All right. Well. Oh my gosh. This guy. A water bucket, you say, huh? That might be my better bet, because this guy is really showing me just how frustrating a villager can be. Alright, now I think he is trapped in here. I don't think there's any way that he can go but where I want him now. Go ahead, buddy. Come on. This is the only place for you to go. Now we'll use our carrot trick if we need to. There we go. Boom. Alright. Well, that was more complicated than it was supposed to be, but we got a villager in a cave.
And not only do we have a villager in a cave, we've got a major milestone accomplished.
Go grab ourselves another villager, and we can raid the... Oh, we did? How'd that happen? No. I got to see this on my screen. Not that I don't believe you, but I just don't... I don't know what we would have done to get to 1,000. We got streamers that are actually... people streaming that actually decided to subscribe. You are not kidding me, RJ. I see it for myself. We have officially hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed, who has watched, who has tuned in any capacity. The Dadcrafter officially has 1,000 subscribers. That is awesome. I am stoked. Gosh, when I started this channel, I was really nervous that no one would watch my content at all. Like, I wasn't sure if I would get 1 subscriber, let alone 1,000. So to get to 1,000 is really something special. And I'm not going to lie, I'm blown away. You guys, RJ, I've seen you on a number of streams. Tup Pup, I've seen you, I think, on almost every screen. Cody, thank you for chatting it up today. You guys have all been a part of making this possible, because it starts with a few people liking your content and, you know, giving you some attention, and then, you know, others find it and enjoy it, and that's how a channel grows. But, you know, I know it starts with those few people that, you know, are there from the beginning, and I want to thank you guys for all being a part of that. And I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to this channel, who has watched a video, who has liked a video, any of that stuff.
That's right. The Dadcrafter channel has hit 1,000 subscribers. And as I said before, I could not be more grateful for every one of you who have been part of this journey. And speaking of grateful, just one more thing to be grateful for: my awesome subscribers who have helped me out with things like my Dadcrafter skin and a brand new Dadcrafter logo.
I'll gladly update the image and give you all the credit. Like I'll put a sign in the world for you, like I did with the YouTuber who created my Dadcrafter skin, because I couldn't even manage to create this cool Dadcrafter skin, and somebody created that for me, and I gave him a sign in my Skyblock world calling him out, and I'd be happy to do the same for you here in this world, and let everyone on the YouTube world know that it was Cody.HHHHH37 that made the new Dadcrafter logo. And if you have any like artist website or anything you want called out, by all means, just got to let me know, and I'd put that in the comment or the description for that video as well.
And if you're looking at my page today, the new awesome Dadcrafter logo was supplied by Cody, and it turned out excellent.
Joshua, the game is going pretty well. The goal here was to find a village, and we found one. And we just got back to our main home area with a second villager, which means that now we are going to start breeding these villagers and make our own village here back at our main world spawn. Not really our spawn point, it's just kind of where we've established our world. We've got a mob grinder here, we've got a nether portal here, so this is like where I want things going on. So yeah, as far as today's goals went, this is going pretty good. Although this villager is being a little stubborn. Come on, buddy. You're gonna make me push you, huh? Move. Walk the right direction, and I'll stop bugging you. What is this guy doing? We might have to go with a bed route on this one. I didn't think about it. I should have grabbed a couple of beds from that village. Although I think I've got enough string to craft up another one. Alright, well you'll find your way there at nighttime. I know that much. The other guy's stuck there. So what we can do now is we can start kind of building out the rest of this villager breeder. Let's see.
In true Dadcrafter fashion, it doesn't take long for me to go from collecting supplies to deciding it would be a great idea to shoot fireballs at some of my loose cows.
All right, let's see. Do I have a functioning blaze rod? Yes, I do. So we're going to go ahead here. We're going to take out that rotten stomach. And we're going to insert that functioning blaze rod. And then I forget which button I'd set that up for. Now, if you guys didn't see this, this is pretty fun. Oh. Oh boy. Leave me alone. Alright. Well, we stole his heart, which is what took him out so quickly and easily. We gotta eat real food now. Alright. Well, this is not going well. Alright. Well, we have opened up the world to, Captain Cappy. Yes, I have. It depends on what you consider beating the game, like defeating the Ender Dragon. Yes, I've done that. That's generally, I think, what people consider beating the game. So right now I just added a functional blaze rod organ to my chest cavity. And what that does is it lets me shoot fireballs, which I was trying to show off when I started getting overwhelmed by zombies. So you saw me shoot one there. It didn't do much. If I can get down to one zombie, I can kind of show off what that does a little better. So I just lit that zombie on fire by shooting a fireball at him. We're going to do the same thing to this cow to get some cooked beef. In my last episode, when I first got this power, I started a massive forest fire, so we're going to try to avoid that. And there we go, some cooked beef. We'll take that. So yeah, you get these from a blaze, and then it lets you become a fire-breathing dragon of sorts. Oh boy, that's going to start a fire. Yep, that's what I did last time. Whew, that was close. All right, so, you know, playing at night, always interesting. We've got, oh, I want to make sure that villager gets put away. Survive the creeper. I want to make sure that villager is safe down here. Alright, they're safe in there. So I don't want them to get zombified. That would be awful after we worked so hard to get them. You are able to take the villagers' organs. There's nothing special about them, though. They're basically the same as your own. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that fire is spreading a little bit. So that's the danger of being a fire-breathing dragon, is when you're surrounded by flammable things, they tend to catch on fire. But here, I'll show you. So you can open up a zombie, take his heart, take his spine, and now he's just going to stand there and, well, die because he has no heart. So yeah, not much purpose to taking a villager's organs is kind of the point I was making there. They don't really do you any good. Most of them are not compatible, and even if they are, they don't give you like any special powers, which would be the whole point of stealing organs. Alright, let's see how that forest blaze is doing. It looks like it's going to go out on its own. We're good on that. We don't have to worry about that too much.
With the loose cows turned into cooked beef and the forest fire more or less under control, it's a good time to talk about just how complex this whole chest cavity challenge really is.
So you got to find the compatible organs. And once you find the compatible ones, then you can use them without harming yourself. So I can put the Enderman. Well, yes, it is a lot of work. It's definitely not as easy as I had thought it was all going to be when I started this challenge. So I can take out this functioning blaze rod, and I can put an ender appendix in place of my own appendix, but you'll see I quickly get this organ rejection, and that's going to start hurting me. Now, I don't remember. Let me see if I can teleport with that in. I don't know how that works exactly. Like, I don't think it's a... Yeah, so I don't think that one works the same way. Like, it's not a button push, but it's a... I think if I get wet, it'll make me teleport automatically. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if that works with this. No, but it's hurting me by getting wet. So you'll see that I got this heart here, water vulnerability from the Enderman appendix. So it's not the right organ. So you got to also know like which organ from the mob will actually do what you want it to do. So in that case, that was the wrong organ. And every time that you open up your own chest, you do a fair amount of damage to yourself, like two plus hearts worth of damage. So you got to kind of, sparingly open your chest because it's not, doesn't feel very good, I guess is the crux of it. So we'll go ahead and we'll come in here and, oh, I don't think I grabbed a new pickaxe. Well, I've got this one. We'll just use this one. So we're going to make this room a little bit bigger for them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn at least one of these guys into a farmer. And we're going to make these into a breeding pair, essentially.
That's right. Now that we've got our 2 villagers, the goal here is to actually get those villagers to breed so that we have a more or less limitless supply of villagers for things like an iron farm, things like a trading hall, but it all starts with these 2 and enough space to breed.
It's my favorite Minecraft mob. Oh, honestly, I think the skeleton is my favorite. They give you so much useful stuff. So, if you're in like a skyblock world like I just was, the bones and the ability to make bone meal, and then the fact that you can use their arrows and their bows, it's just huge. Like, there's so much that you can get that's useful from a skeleton. So, kind of a impractical reason, but I like the skeleton because of what I can do with what they give me. So a baby villager will be able to go under that, but these guys will not. And then I need to kind of create a backward pathway here. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to put this here, so now they're stuck there. But a baby villager will be able to make its way out of here. Let's see, that's what I don't like about Enderman. But now that we got one, here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you guys this. So you have to hurt him or else you can't open him. That's my chest. He's going to kill me. Yep. Oh, boy. Okay, well, I was trying to show you how you can open up an Enderman, which I'm still going to show you, but I'm going to have to get all my stuff back first. Most importantly, that chest opener. Let's go ahead and get our armor put back on here real quick. Tiger Eye, welcome. Appreciate the comment there. Above 10 hearts of health and above half health. Okay, I didn't know what the actual threshold was. I just knew that there was a point where they were too healthy. I feel like I see fire up there. Oh, that was a mob on fire. Well, that Enderman appears to have disappeared, but if we see him again, we'll get him in the boat. Makes sense. I mean, I've definitely discovered that ripping somebody's heart out is the easiest way to kill them. And like, yeah, I could see where if you're fighting the Ender Dragon and you just walk up and take his heart, probably not really what the game mechanics were intending. So, Tiger Eye, I take it you've played this mod a time or two. This one was completely new to me about 2 weeks ago. I just checked it out for the first time. And I must say, it is quite interesting. Oh, you're the developer? That's awesome. Well, welcome to the stream, and thank you for making this game, because it's pretty, or this mod, I should say, because it's pretty neat. My kids came across it, I think on a YouTube video, and they told me I had to check it out. What prompted you to develop this mod? I think that's my, if I may ask you some questions, I think that's my first one. And then I have another one for you that I think anyone who watched my last stream is also going to want to know the answer to. Well, I'll tell you, there's definitely people enjoying it, because I've had quite a few comments, quite a few views. I had one short that I made with this mod that got over 500,000 views. It was me stealing the lung from a polar bear. So if you didn't know, there's at least one short out there using this mod that's got 500,000 views. But yeah, my question stands. Like, where did you come up with the idea for this mod? Because when my son was first describing it to me, I honestly thought he was going crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? A mod where you can open up chests and steal organs. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, so that makes sense. You know, internet memes are where a lot of things begin. Okay, so that was question number one. Question number two, in my last stream, I opened up the chest of a witch, and I stole the witch's muscles, intent on making a witch sausage, or some witch meat, I guess, was kind of the starting point. And I was quickly amazed, astounded, maybe even a little delighted to see that what I crafted was raw man meat. What on earth were you thinking when you made the witch's muscle craft into raw man meat? And I noticed that when you make sausage out of it, it is called human sausage. It's not called man sausage, which I applaud you for thinking that one through. But the raw man meat had me absolutely cracking up. And yeah, Joshua, I hope I don't sound like I'm fanboying over here, but I should, because I'm blown away to have the developer in the chat. That's really cool. And much kudos to him for developing this sweet mod. I know how to play. I should say I barely know how to play the mod, let alone develop one. Well, I have to agree. It was the right spot, and the humor hit. I think it was the perfect humor for the situation, if you ask me. I mean, it legitimately had me laughing out loud on the stream when I went from, crafting, taking the muscle and then hit the craft button and saw raw man meat pop up, I about lost it. So I think I just put a short out there. So if you have time for a short, if you have time for the whole stream, it's live on my channel too. If you want to watch that and see all the other fun stuff I've done with this mod. But yeah, that particular moment had me laughing out loud. The raw alien meat or raw alien sausage that I got from the Enderman, I thought that was pretty cool. So that was here, raw alien sausage. So when you craft up an Enderman's muscles, you get alien meat and alien sausage, which I thought that was spot on. I mean, Enderman definitely pretty alien if you ask me. Oh, here, can you put a spider in a boat? I don't know. But I wanted to get, so the spider, you can get something that like gives you silk. But I don't remember what it is. Muscle, heart, lung, silk gland. That's what I need. It's a good thing they don't do too much damage. So the silk gland from the spider should let me create. Now that one's only compatible with the spider, so it's gonna damage me when I put it in. You know, it's not gonna be compatible, but it should let me make sure I got the keybind set up for that. It should let me create string, which is what I need to make wool, which is what I need to make a bed. So let's see, let's take that, make that something else. U would be our silk button now. Let's go ahead and pop that bad boy in. And then if I go like this and hit U, you'll see I'm creating string. Let's go to the front view. When I do that, I'm popping out a string every time that I hit that button now. So I'm the world's weakest Spider-Man. There's no hanging from webs. There's no saving Mary Jane. But I can poop out string at will. I also can apparently start fires with my underground lava. I'm really not sure why that keeps happening. Oh shoot, I need to get this out. So that's what the spider gland, silk gland does for you. Which, yeah, I mean, it's especially cool like right now because I need wool, and I could use that string now to craft up. I think I can use string to craft wool. So Tiger Eye, what are some of the things that you can do in this mod that most people don't know about? Like, give me some exclusive insider. Like, what's the coolest thing that I should add to my list of goals for this challenge? Like right now, my son is just kind of giving me the basics, like, you know, get the Enderman, make a sausage out of an Enderman, things like that. But I feel like there's got to be some other things that are worth trying that most people wouldn't know. And he only knows the stuff that he's seen other YouTubers do already that he just thinks I can't handle. So I'd be curious, what are your, like, hey, this is something that I don't ever see somebody do in this mod, but that I made it so you could, so I would like to see somebody do it. Because if you've got it, I will give it a try. Goats are hard to find, but their springy muscles let you jump quite high, especially if combined with the gas bladders. Wow. Now, help me out here. I don't remember. What does the gas bladder do? Does that also let you jump higher? Makes you buoyant, pulling you upwards at all times. Oh, okay. I'm not going to lie, getting a gas bladder seems like it might be one of the hardest things that, because was one of the things that my son put on his list. And I immediately said, like, the first ghast I saw, I went and tried to open them up, and just getting close enough to a ghast to open them up feels like it's going to be the hardest thing in this whole challenge. So finding a goat is going to be tough. Opening a ghast, I think, is going to be harder. But we'll give it a go. Definitely want to give that a try now that I'm aware of it. So each one is enough to counteract 1/4 of gravity. So in theory, if you got 4 gassed stomachs, you would be, gassed bladders, you would basically just be floating around.
So you heard it here, straight from the developer. The goat muscle that lets you jump extra high and the gassed bladder will make it so you fall even slower. Together, they make a great combo.
I appreciate the heck out of every one of you who tuned in today. I really appreciate Tiger Eye 504, who is the developer of this mod, for popping in here today and giving us a new goal for our challenge, which is going to be to get a muscle from a goat and combine it with a gas bladder, because that's going to let us jump really high. Also, just appreciate him jumping on here at all. Please come back. I'd like having the opportunity to ask the creator questions. It makes this even more fun for me, and hopefully will make other people want to try out this mod, because that.
What an awesome episode this was. We had the mod developer join us and share some cool tips. We opened up a bunch of different mobs. We found a village. We brought some villagers back and got our villager breeder built out. We're in the driver's seat now and ready to take some next steps. I hope that you all enjoyed today's episode. We passed 1,000 subscribers on this episode. What a great milestone. Really do appreciate every one of you who helped us get there. I am the Dadcrafter, and I will catch you on the next episode.